Perfect. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an incredible guest with us, Sister Sherie Muhammad, one who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration. First of all, assalamu alaikum, ma'am. How are you doing?
Well, Lakem salam, sir. I'm wonderful. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem. This is an extreme honor for myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast. The first question I want to know is, let's get straight into it with your new school. What is the name? What's the name of it?
It is called Asiatic Minds. And Asiatic Minds was created through inspiration from Allah. It's actually been a long time coming, this phase of the school. Right before this phase, I actually had a school in my home. I converted my basement to a school, and that was also called Asiatic Minds Early Learning Academy. And so I had younger students up through eighth grade, as this school is now online. But COVID shut that down. We moved everything online from my home to online, but then that fizzled out, and it actually came back to life just like a phoenix. It burned in the ashes. And I literally gave up for one night once that school shut down, but it came back the very next morning after Fajr prayer. Allah just gave me that inspiration to do what exactly is happening now, which is Asiatic Minds Online. I did attempted to give this, past this ideal long before, and it just didn't materialize. I just at that time didn't know that it was for me to do. So I was striving to give it, and I was happy to assist with it, but time wasn't permitting it, or time didn't allow it to happen back then. But now the time is right, and I finally get the message that I'm supposed to be doing this. So all praises due to Allah.
Praise be to Allah, and thank you. Thank you all for watching. Sister Francine said the name is beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe to the People's Podcast. Every comment and subscription matters. Yes, ma'am. My next question is, what are the grades for Asiatic Minds?
So Asiatic Minds is going to go from third grade to eighth grade. That's where we're starting off. But I already see that I want to expand that eighth grade and just continue on until we reach 12th grade and we can, finish the entire from third through 12th. But this year, our inaugural year, we're starting with third grade through eighth grade, and space is limited right now because we want to keep a certain ratio of students to teacher. So there will be no more than 15 students in those classes. And so the way that's going to be broken up is we have space for 15 elementary class students and 15 middle school students. So elementary being third, fourth, and fifth grade, and then middle school being sixth, seventh, and eighth graders. So 15 for each. So first come, first serve.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, ma'am. And what is the website that people want to go if they want to sign up for your school? And I'll let you answer that one first.
Okay. It is asiaticminds.com. That's very simple. asiaticminds.com. We also have a Facebook page, Asiatic Minds. So find us, go to the website, look at our staff. You can see our mission statement on there. And also we have open houses coming up. So you can register for our open house on there as well.
Okay, amazing. And some people are showing you love. If I know students who, because of the pandemic, they don't want to go back into the public school system right now, and they live in Atlanta, can they go to school at Asiatic Minds in Kentucky?
Yes, absolutely, because it's all online. And so, and it's designed that way. The pandemic pushed it to that, but it also answers something that a need that I wish my children had when they were coming up, because I'm in Kentucky, in Lexington, and it's a small city. My children, when I first had children, we were in Louisville, Kentucky, because that's where I'm from. But then we moved to Lexington, but it was the same situation that we did not have enough little juniors to have a school. And in study groups, just as well as in mosque, families come, families go. So, you don't, sometimes you don't have that base that remains for you to be able to have a school. So those who find themselves in cities with MUIs and other schools are so fortunate. So I homeschool my children.
Mhm.
And I always wish that they could have attended an MUI. But myself and my husband are laborers, so we just can't pack up and quit our post. We got to do what we got to do. And so we did the next best thing, which was homeschool. We homeschooled our children. And it was some time ago, Brother Shaheed Muhammad, the math doctor, he introduced us to a school online based out of Atlanta, actually, Aya Learning Institute. And so my children, my oldest daughter, or second to oldest daughter, ended up going to Aya Learning Institute. And that was an online school happening way before all of this online everything is taking place now. They were doing it way back then. I want to say the institution is about 18 years old, 18, 20 years old. And so I learned, some things from them, watching them online. I'm schooling online. I actually taught for their school online. And so eventually it led to once I discovered that online platform, I really wish that my children could have attended an online school, like an MUI online, right? Because I wanted them to have the best teachers from the nation. And I wanted them to be in a classroom with other Muslim children who would say, Savior's Day is coming up. What day y'all leaving for Savior's Day? We leaving this day. Where your family staying at? We staying here. Let's see, ask our moms, can we get together? That type of thing, as opposed to them being excused from school and, they are always constantly having to teach their peers about what they believe and who they are and what they do, but to at least, give them that type of environment that everybody in your school does what you do, or at least majority of the people in your school do what you do. And so that's part of why Asiatic Minds, to give that environment to all those other little Muhammads, little X's out there in the nation, and supporters who are in these small cities, as my children were, and didn't have the opportunity to attend a beautiful institution like MUI. So now we're at this day and age, we're taking it online. And we're going to provide, that's what Asiatic Minds is helping to do, is to provide that atmosphere for our babies, for our, students to come in and be able to come in and say, Assalamu alaikum, to get something right, answer a question right, and be able to say, all praise is due to Allah. And people are like, what'd you say? That type of thing. So, and it's also to help, cultivate what and to help what the parents are teaching at home. So we're helping the parents to educate their children. So what you're teaching at home, we're reinforcing that in school. So when they come to school, it's not a totally different environment. It should echo and it should reflect what is going on in the home.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Excellent representation, Sister Sherie. So Latasha says, ASA, Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. Sister Miriam, thank you all for continuing watching people's podcast. So you're saying you see a value, and you have 6 children, and you see a value in homeschooling?
Absolutely. To me, homeschooling is best when you have to do that, in comparison to sending them to public school. I personally, and I know believers who have to make that sacrifice, and each person has to evaluate their own situation. Myself, and my husband, that was not something that we were willing to do. And so now I will say this: our oldest son, Mustafa, we allowed him to attend an all boys Black centered school, and he was part of the first class. And he entered that school, and it's called BMW Academy. He entered that school as a freshman, and he was part, and that school each year it developed the next grade until his class was the first graduating class, and he was valedictorian of his class. Along he and another young man were tied for valedictorian. And so I allowed him to go to that school because I knew the administrators. I talked to them. They knew what we were about, and I made it very clear. We're going to try this out. If it does not, in fact, gel with what we're doing and what we want for our son, then we don't have a problem pulling him out and continuing to homeschool him. And they were very well aware of that. And as a matter of fact, at that time, I was substitute teaching in the public school system as well as homeschooling. And I substitute taught in that school quite often.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. And some people showing you love. Sister Kadira says, Assalamu alaikum. My sister Miriam says, praise be to Allah. Speaking of that, I was speaking to my sister Miriam earlier and my father as well. We were talking about education. How important do you think it is to have a conscious-based education, if you will, for people who they may people from I grew up in the suburbs. So if children who are raised in the suburbs, do you think that they have to have a certain Black thought or school of Black teaching, if you will? Is that something that is necessary?
I think it's necessary to have truth. The truth. And the truth is, who is the original man? The original man is the Asiatic Black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet, of God of the universe. So that has to be in the teachings. That has to be in the schools, because right now falsehood is in school. And so if you are teaching falsehood, you get what this society has produced. We have to have the truth in the school. And, we can call that Black centered. The Black man is the original man. So it's the beginning of everything. And that's okay. That's not, a specialized teaching. That's just teaching the truth. And once you know the truth, then everything else falls into place properly. That does not mean our children don't walk out saying, we as Black people are better and you all are nothing. If you're not Black, no, that's not what it is. When you teach truth, then you teach respect and value for human life. And you must first and foremost learn to love and value yourself. That's why we have these teachings, because we have been taught in such a direction that we hate everything that's Black. Everything that's Black is bad.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's so deeply ingrained in us.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we have to infuse that into everything that we do. Whether we are an educator in a school, whether we are a minister, and that's a Christian, Muslim, Jew, whatever type of minister you are, whether you are a musical artist, whether you are a poet, we have to be about the business of spreading the truth. And, I want to say maybe I'm biased, but it's just the truth that that truth came from Master Father Muhammad. He gave it to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is giving it to us. Now, that is not to say that there are not truths in in Black-centered schools and African-centered schools. Absolutely, there is truth there, right? But we have that root, that seed teaching.
Yes, ma'am.
We understand that Allah created himself out of triple darkness.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
It's all the way to the root. See, when you are teaching truth, it just when it's just out here, we only take it back to Egypt. We only take it back to just a certain level. We got to go all the way, to the root of the creation of the universe, the creation of God himself, how all of this came about. How did that moon get out there? We got to go all the way back there. And once our children understand, oh, that was us. That's a whole new mind opening.
Praise be
That's
to
a whole
Allah.
new level of opening minds.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
even for any other students that come along, I think this school is in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. The teachings will be taught in this school. And that is not to the exclusion of anyone else. But it is also not going to waver because anyone else wants to be there. This we want, or we intend to teach the truth. We intend to teach the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in this school.
Praise be to Allah. Excellent. And thank you for upholding the banner. And someone's Sister Vara X Wood said, proud of you, Mom. All praises due to Allah. And Dr. Jennifer Muhammad says, all praises due to Allah. I wanted to ask you about different races of students wanting to attend Asiatic Minds. Is that possible?
Sure.
Okay. Good.
We absolutely do not discriminate. But once again, we will be reciting who is the original man. The original man is the Asiatic Black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. We will be going into those teachings. So as long as anyone is comfortable with that and want to learn more, come on.
Praise
the space is limited. So I'm going to tell you what. Believers, y'all better jump on it.
Yes, ma'am. And once people, what is life like for a believer in Lexington, Kentucky?
Oh, you know what? The believers, it's like family. And that, when you have small study groups, one person can be absent that day and you feel it because it's like, because we're small and we all know one another. So it's very much like a family. You can get to bigger cities and maybe not know somebody's name because the city is so big. There are cities that you might have 200 MGT. Ooh, just sisters, so you may not know everybody, but in Lexington, in Lexington, the community is very supportive. The Black community is supportive of the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam, is known in Lexington, and we have a good relationship with the other leaders in the city, those who work amongst the people. We have a good relationship with them. So life is good.
Praise be to Allah. Beautiful. And I want to thank you on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast for your sacrifice and the sacrifice of your family. I didn't even know there were believers. I didn't know there were Black people in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh.
And much less believers. I didn't, so I thank y'all for holding it down.
Well, listen, every believer who's listening, you have family in Louisville, Kentucky, and Lexington, Kentucky. Anytime you're traveling through, reach out to us. We are here, and you have family. We take care of our people. We take care of our own. So you have family. Just know that.
Praise be to Allah. Sister Kadir says, yes, we are like family. She's saying I'm Lexington. Sister Kadir is saying that. Okay,
yeah. Well, that's my daughter, by the way.
Oh, okay, that's your daughter. Okay, yes, ma'am. And we said we got 6 children, so I didn't know. I interviewed student minister Gerald from Louisville, and I play football, so I like sports. I'm a sports fan, so I understand Louisville from the sports standpoint. But I didn't know who he was until 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't know. Right. In Kentucky, I'm like, that's amazing. Thank you all for holding it down. My next question is, when did you hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Wow. My first experience, it's funny. My first experience with the Nation of Islam was in 93. And that's when I came into the Nation of Islam. My sister, Michelle, which is brother Gerald's wife, that's my big sister.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
And so she invited me to a meeting. I was in college at the time. And I went to the meeting because I've always been open-minded. When I was in college, I was in the Black Student Union. We bought in KRS-One. We was always about doing some things, you know. I'm wearing my X hat, not understanding, you know, but Public Enemy, you know, I was all into that area, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
so coming to a Nation of Islam meeting, wonderful. This is what's so funny. I was attending one of the largest Black churches in Lexington. I mean, excuse me, in Louisville. And because that was a thing to do in college. You party on Saturday, you get up, you go to church on Sunday,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Party part two, you know, you in there singing and whatnot.
Yes, ma'am.
And so it's so funny because I got baptized.
Mm.
I got baptized one Sunday. The very next Sunday, I visited the Louisville study group. And I can't even remember what Brother Gerald was teaching. But I remember the feeling that I had, that I just started looking around at people like, oh my God, do you all hear what I'm hearing? Like, do y'all really hear this? You know, and when it came time for acceptances, I accepted. So that was so funny because I just got baptized. And I accepted the teachings the very following Sunday and been in the nation ever since. The very next time I went back to that church, it was a program that the sisters and I were doing there, and I came in my white garment, and we were there for a program. And so, yeah, I heard the teachings in '93, and it has been nothing less than life transforming for me. Save me, you know. It's been, I really can't put it into words, all that the teaching has done for me. I can say this: were it not for the teachings, I wouldn't have my husband and children. You know, were it not for the teachings, I wouldn't know who I am as a Black woman. I wouldn't know that I was the second self of God, and I wouldn't know how to love me properly. So all praise is due to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Well, for the sisters who are out there watching, how do you learn to love yourself properly?
Coming to that MGT class. Yeah, I'm telling you, you know, if you are out there, just start by pulling up lectures of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on YouTube. Look up Minister Farrakhan and the Black woman. Anything that he's teaching on dealing with the woman, just start there. That's going to help you to understand what the nation teaches about the Black woman. And it's up to each one of us to really take that in, those teachings, and begin to grow and develop, you know, as a woman or as a brother, right? And so, you know, I'm still growing. We're all still growing as long as we're actively in the process. You know, there are things that I'll read in, you know, my MGT manual, like the books that we're on. And then I just have to look off and be like, wow, like, boom, it just opened up something else for me. Now I need to grow in this area. Oh, I thought I got rid of that mindset. Really? I just had that though? Okay, you know, so it grows us constantly in growth. And so the teachings is life. The teachings is truly life. You know, we can look at the teachings and be like, oh, you know, looking at the meaning of MGT, oh, how to sew, how to cook. I know how to do that. But it's so much, it's some science. It's some God science to that when you really get into it. It's not just, you know, learning how to, what pairs well with chicken, you know, no, no. It's some science to that. It's some serious science that I think sometimes we may take for granted until our health causes us to look at it closer, right? So the teachings, it's life.
Praise be to Allah. And I want to thank everyone who has continued to watch the People's Podcast. I have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast in this episode. I want to thank you all for your continued sponsorship this month. We're starting a new month, but I want to thank everyone who sponsored this previous month. If you would like to be a sponsor or a donor of the People's Podcast, please cash, $ Cash App the People's Podcast. Thank you for helping us keep this free media going. My brother Rashad, Street Premiere Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Thank you very much. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, both of which are on Amazon. Make sure you go out and get those. My sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. We love our tiny dancers. Our brothers out of the West Coast, MTS Car Bros, any make, any model, any year, 30 to 50% off. Make sure you all get some vehicles. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you all across the country. Also, Sister Latasha Muhammad from Indianapolis, Indiana, Queen is I, Poetry and Apparel. She does an amazing job with her poetry and her apparel as well. Thank you, Sister Latasha. Brother Enoch Muhammad from Hip Hop Detox of Chicago. Hip Hop Detox is a public wealth vehicle that empowers, takes a holistic approach to, and empowers the youth in middle schools and high schools all across the country. Thank you very much. Dr. Robert J. Muhammad out of Chicago. Why Does My Back Hurt? And Additional Health Tips and Guidelines. His new book on Amazon. Dr. Robert J. Muhammad, Why Does My Back Hurt? And Additional Health Tips and Guidelines on Amazon. Make sure you go out and get his new book. My Letter A book by Sister Landra L. Muhammad. It is an amazing book. Make sure you go get My Letter A book by Landra L. Muhammad. Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad, COVID-19 disinfecting cleaning services. We're coming right back to our sister, Sherie Muhammad. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. And last but not least, No Father, No Excuse. Cleopatra, my children's book, which is on Amazon, and No Father, No Excuse, which is on Amazon as well. Thank you all very much. Right back to our sister. Now, what is the website and how can we sign up again, ma'am, to get these students into Asiatic Minds?
The website is asiaticminds.com. asiaticminds.com. You can enroll directly from the website. You can also sign up. You can enroll and you can just hold your child's place, okay? And then once you hold the child's place, then you don't have to, of course, do your first month's tuition until school starts. School is starting September the 1st. So it's gonna be here before you know it.
Absolutely. I'm taking summer courses in college, and I got to sign up on Monday for the summer and the fall, because fall is definitely coming very fast. My next question for you, ma'am, is what has been your greatest joy as an educator?
Oh, my greatest joy. I don't know if there's just one. Because I'm thinking of all of these things, from educating my children to educating other people's children. I know what brings me joy is when a student gets it, when you're teaching a concept, when you are striving to get them, over a hump. And when you see that light bulb turn on, and then they're like, yes. And then you see this joy come up in them because they understand something. And now they can talk to you about it. They could teach about it. They ask deeper questions about it. That is what makes me happy. That's what brings me joy, is when I see these little gods come to life and enjoy education, when they are very inquisitive. That is what brings me the most joy.
Praise be so loud. Beautiful. And we want to encourage you and your family and other educators all across the nation to continue doing the work, but especially someone who has an independent school. We want to encourage everyone to sign up to AsiaticMinds.com. AsiaticMinds.com. Let's make sure we got it next month. I'll be promoting your commercial on the People's Podcast. I want to make sure we get it. What do you do for fun as a teacher to unwind when you're not in education mode?
Brother Joshua, I love music and I love to dance.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, when I'm cooking, if I'm cleaning, I play music loud.
And what type of music do you like?
All sorts of music. It depends on my mood. I have my I listen to rap. I like T.I., Lil Weezy.
Yes, ma'am.
I love Prince. I love Michael Jackson. I like Bon Jovi. I like Phil Collins.
Yes, ma'am.
I like New Edition, Bobby Brown,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, it's just all over the place. And sometimes it's certain artists. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh my
Of
God.
course, of course.
My husband and I we went to their concert before. And at a certain point, I just turned to him. I said, "This is the soundtrack of my life." Because coming up, that's what my mom played. And so yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire, my uncles, um, singing groups, coming up. And so I remember being a child looking up at them singing, and hearing these songs. So Earth, Wind, and Fire definitely holds a special place in my heart. I love Stevie Wonder. Um, of course, you get into like your Mary J. Blige and
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
all of these different things. I love Sting, and the Police. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
just a lot of different, genres. I even like a little country music. It
Yes, ma'am.
depends. I don't like bluegrass.
I mean,
And
but you're from Kentucky, so country kind of you know what I mean? All
no,
right.
no, I wouldn't even say it's a Kentucky thing. No, because I don't listen to country stations.
Okay,
It just
okay,
may
yes,
be
ma'am.
a song that might come across me at a grocery store or somewhere that might catch my ear, and I'm like, oh, I like that song. I like the
Mm.
words of that song. Um, but as far as turning on a country station, I've never done that. But there's just been songs that have popped up here and there that I do like.
Beautiful. Okay, yes, ma'am. What advice would you give to future educators, people who want to go into teaching?
Hmm. For those who want to go into teaching, be sincere. Be sincere, um, and evaluate why you're going in, to teaching. What is it that you have? What makes you happy? What is it about teaching? Is it a particular subject? Is it a particular grade or age of students that you love to deal with? And to really hone in on that. Also, definitely study the teachings. Study, the chapter on education in Torchlight for America, so that we can go into it understanding the true education,
Mm.
that which is cultivating the skill, gifts, and talents of what's already in, our youth. And also, I can't even just say youth, because education takes place in a lot of different areas, right? It's not just in that school area. It could be college as well. I mean, you're in college right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, there's different teaching platforms online that you can go to. Culinary school. I think Sister Tadara is teaching online. She has a
Yes,
college.
ma'am.
So, there's many different aspects. But that's finding your love. So when you are involved and engrossed in what you love to do, and know that that is your purpose, then it's just gonna come out. And I have to share this with you, Brother Joshua, that it was a journey for me to realize that teaching, education is my purpose. Because, and the reason I say education is because I'm not even one of the teachers in this school.
Mm.
I'll be the person in the first period, if you will, when everybody comes in, where we do the pledge, and we do some recitation, and there's certain things we're going to be doing. I have my son making um, a theme song for my school, because I like music. So
Yes,
after
yes,
prayer and all
ma'am.
that, I want us to open up with the theme song for Asiatic Minds.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes, ma'am.
so and so with that, it was a journey, because, as I said, I've been teaching my children for over 20 years.
Mm.
And then along the lines, I've taught others as well. And so within my development, I have my youngest child is 11. And so I really thought at a certain point, ooh, once he gets to this certain age, I'm out of here. I'm going to corporate America, you know, um, I have a degree. I graduated. So I'm thinking I'm getting ready to, do some things
Yes,
other
ma'am.
than education. But at the same time, I was in constant prayer to Allah to help me find my purpose. I needed to know, okay, why am I here? I know each one of us has a specific purpose
Yes,
in
ma'am.
this life. I need to know what my purpose is,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
we can waste a lot of time, doing a lot of different things. But I want to know what my purpose is. And so Allah, and it took a few years that Allah family showed me that my purpose was education. And my husband was like, duh, and I'm like, no, for me, it was a whole revelation.
Yes, ma'am.
In my heart, I really thought I was gonna be doing something different. And it was one Sunday, there was a Sunday lecture, and Brother Ishmael taught on education. And I really feel like on that Sunday, everybody who got up was teaching. I think the whole theme of the Sunday was education.
Mm, mm, mm.
And we're sitting there watching the webcast, and it hit me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. It hit me so much so that I had to get up, go to the back, and I just started bawling. I was crying and shaking because I knew for certainty that Allah just gave me my answer. Educator. You are an educator. And when I reflect on my life, I've always been educating. From the time I was a young teenager taking summer jobs, it was always me educating younger students. And, I've always found myself in a position throughout my life being in some type of teaching role. And so I fully embrace that, but I'm still growing and understanding my role. And so I'm at this level of growth to where I see myself, my role right now is I'm pulling together all of these awesome teachers throughout the nation,
Yes, ma'am.
put together this awesome team because we have a wonderful staff that will educate all of those who are coming. And so, and right now, so I'm an administrator of education, and I have a lot that I'm picturing going on. And it's more than me. I didn't want to have to be the one. I didn't see that it was my place to be the one to teach all the subjects every day, all day to all the students.
Yes, ma'am.
I saw it from this level of pulling all of these teachers from different aspects, different areas of our nation that specialize in this subject and in that subject. And why wouldn't we want that? Somebody who's been doing that and specializes in that, and infuses the teachings in that and gives that back to our students. So I'm so excited. And I'm telling you, I think the parents are going to be so pleased. Sign up. I think the parents are going to be so pleased with the staff and with the school. I'm excited.
Praise be to Allah. I'm excited as well. And if you have any openings in the future for history majors or people dealing with theater and acting, my two things, you know what I'm saying, history and theater, just let me know. Can we
Say
post
no
it
more.
like that?
No, because after this, sincerely, we need to have a conversation. No joke.
Yes, ma'am.
We
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
have a conversation because see, Allah, this is how it has happened every step of the way. Allah always places people around you to answer a prayer. And so you might be like, oh, Sister Sherie, I don't know if I could do all of that, because we can use your talent, your skill, gifts, and talents.
Praise
And
be to Allah.
anybody else who's out there who's an educator, like, oh, I didn't hear about it, I would love to come on board. Please reach out. Please reach out. Through the website, and there's a telephone number on the website as well. Reach out to me because, as I said, this is phase one. Okay, we only taking 30 students, but this is not where we are stopping. We're growing. I'm already thinking about the next year. So yes, I need to start talking to more educators already.
Praise be to Allah.
So praise be to Allah, and thank you for volunteering.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I will be in touch.
Yes, ma'am.
And I
Praise-
want to say to Brother Joshua, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, it's an honor.
I want to thank you. I want to thank your family. I want to thank your father. I want to thank you all for your mother. Was such an inspiration to me. I came in '93, so your dad was a supreme captain, and it was just, we came in, and not to exclude anybody else who came in the nation, but if you came in them '90s, you know what I'm talking about. If you came in the nation in the '90s, you know what I'm talking about. You know this feeling that I'm talking about. Getting prepared for that Million Man March, and it was just that was just a phenomenal time, and I thank Allah. I thank Allah for allowing me to come into the nation and choosing me to come into the nation at that particular time. And I thank Allah for your family and the sacrifices that they have made. I thank you for carrying the torch. And, for this younger generation, the voices that you all have, you're doing it in your own style. And that's what it's all about. We constantly evolving and growing. And so the growth of the youth, you know, I consider myself part of the youth, by the way. I consider myself, I feel like I grow with y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I fully recognize, those who came in with me, and it's certain things. Y'all grow in certain ways, and I'm kind of like, I don't understand that, but okay, joke around with my children, and I have them keep me up on what's going on, so I understand what's happening.
Yes, ma'am.
But I thank you and every other youth who is claiming their voice, who is stepping out there and doing something. I love the music of the youth that come out of the nation. Golden Child, and I think they were called AK-47. And
yes,
when I came in, it was Soldiers at War. No, they weren't even Soldiers at War. They was ex niggas. Yeah, they was ex niggas back then. And I'm telling you, I was, excuse the phrase, but I was bumping that music then. And and youth of today, I love it. I love it. We got to stay young. We got to stay youthful, and we got to continue to grow. We don't want to be the ones who die out like the old ones with Moses. We don't want to be left in the desert. We better keep growing and going, with the man of God, because he's youthful. Absolutely. Or else he couldn't capture the youth. So we need to keep going with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Praise be to Allah. Beautiful. And so many people are giving you comments and showing you love. Thank you all for watching, and continue to watch the People's Podcast. I want to thank you again, Sister Sherie. I look forward to seeing the Asiatic Minds grow in the future, and thank your family for their sacrifice. And I want to thank everybody for watching. This has been very inspirational, and the motivation that I need, especially the finals week. I took my last final yesterday, so this is the motivation I need to see Asiatic Minds in the future and all that kind of good stuff. Thank you for coming on and taking time out of your busy schedule, Sister Sherie. And I look forward to just the growth of the schools. It's inspirational to hear you talk about the teachings, education, and me and my sister and my father were just talking about that. So it's very important that I got nieces and nephews, so I gotta I gotta make sure they have something to look forward to where they can hear the name Muhammad and leadership and power. So that's beautiful.
Yes, sir. And we look forward to you being a part of Asiatic Minds.
Praise be to Allah. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Thank you again.